Well, it's that time of the day, Monday morning. This is where my smile will always go away, unfortunately. But if you're joining us for the first time, this is C-Stake, where we deal with pertinent issues confronting us as a nation. And these are things that we go around looking for. And this time, where did our lenses go? Have you traveled on the Ofankor road from, say, Achimota to Ofankor? You'll find out that those metal railings that have been put on the side have been damaged either by cars or some scavengers who are trying to remove those bolts so that they can bolt away with those metals. What they're going to use it for, you know already, scrap metal. But this is what is to protect the vehicles. But some of them have veered into the road by accident, and yet nobody in authority is watching this. Yes, the president decided to look at this. And many of you, anytime state officials or politicians will say that blame citizens, you agree with them. And I have totally disagreed with this assessment or this assertion for many years, and I'll continue to disagree with them. Yes, citizens contribute, but the contribution is virtually like a 1%, according to my own statistics. Because I get politicians telling me they need 200 million, they need 50-something million, they need 500 and something million, and they don't also give me how they came about with those figures. So I have a right as an individual also to come up with 1%. Those of you who collect garbage and throw them into the gutters when it rains, how many times does it rain? And so if the gutters were choked before the rainy season, obviously the water would not flow properly. That's what it is. So in order to prove that what I said when I disagree with the president in regards to the citizens' behavior, whose responsibility is it that a storm drain at the Pokwase interchange that is under construction is actually using concrete blocks, 6-inch block with no iron rods? Is it the citizen? And so when it floods or it breaks and the water will flood, would you blame the citizens? But somebody is actually supposed to be a supervisor on that project. Have you seen it? The picture is right there. This is not done anywhere on earth except Ghana. That's why I say only in GH. Like you people would say, like seriously? And that's the question, like seriously? Look at that. Have you traveled on the motorway? Yes, the Accra Tema motorway. This time I'm not talking about a concrete road being patched with coal tar. I'm talking about the side road, the one that goes to Community 18, the one that goes to the abattoir. It used to be the, what do you call them, the animal husbandry, that particular spot. The side road that was constructed or created so that it could ease the traffic. The metal railing is taking half of the road. And so the highway authority, you want to tell me you haven't seen this? It's endangering the lives of many people. Are you waiting till one of you will die? But if any other person that is not your concern, that's why you're not bothered. But this is unacceptable. State institutions, who is responsible? Would you blame citizens for this? If the laws were working and somebody ran into this, the camera should have captured and that vehicle held responsible. How long does it take and how expensive could that be? The size of a camera on a phone would do the job for you. I don't have to give you free consultancy. Maybe I should be charging you to tell you how to do this. This morning I talked about street lights not working or traffic lights not working. The amber comes on at 6 p.m. Where on earth would an amber start at 6 p.m. and it stays off all throughout the night till the next day? Meanwhile, cars are running traffic at 9 p.m. and the person decides to switch it off. Meanwhile, we have abundant sunshine. And some, like Bob Marley said, rest in peace, Bob. He says, in the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. We have sunshine, and yet we can't use solar. Moving on. Now, let's look at this one also. some, I don't want to use the word is early, but it starts with an I, decides to drive this huge caterpillar or a payloader and decides to go underneath the Kwame Nkrumah interchange. I thought the person might have sniffed some glue, or he thought that it was a toy. So when he gets there, he was going to fold the thing and go underneath. How on earth? And I see this every day where there's an interchange, you find trucks loaded and they're going underneath and scratching it and causing shift to the structure. And nobody seems to care. How on earth did this guy think that he was going to go underneath the interchange? If he had bumped into it harder, what would have happened was that he was going to weaken the structure and endanger the lives of everybody. But nobody seems to think that this is serious. Are we really serious? State institutions. This has got nothing to do with citizens. And that's why I can give you 1,001 reasons that we're joking. Now, coming back to another thing, and I had deliberately waited for all this while. There is a signpost, directional sign, at the Gold House, very close to where the police would have their conversation morning, afternoon, evening. And there's a signpost that gives direction that talks about Burma Camp and the one that goes to 37, and it's been lying on the floor for more than a year. And nobody seems to care. It's on the floor. There we go. I took it very early in the morning and nobody seems to care. It's been lying there. It was paid for by the taxpayers' money, or it was money that we borrowed from another country when they had worked hard, because we're always borrowing. And yet this thing is lying on the floor for over a year and nobody seems to care. Really? Is this the responsibility of the citizens? This is what I direct to the office of the president. Those who speak for him or those who inform him. Majority of the challenges confronting us as a state has nothing to do with the citizens, because if you enforce the laws, the citizens will conform. Nature of human beings are that we are lawless. Let the laws work. Every day we're thinking about new laws. Every day new laws. But it's quite interesting that our constitution, that's supposed to be the supreme Fourth Republic, started in 1992, but we are still depending on PNDC law. Think about this. I rest my case. This is how I ended, but let's put it in our mind that we can make it. If we don't, like John Legend said, I don't know what's going to happen to us, but we're really slacking behind. Let me conclude by this. If you have laws and the law is biting, why would you think that hawkers would disturb you? So you put those rocks at the interchange. It tells you that you're allowing the people to come and do what they want to do. If you were arresting them and punishing them, why would you waste the taxpayers' money to put those spikes at the Kwame Nkrumah interchange? Think about this one also. That it means that we cannot even enforce the laws, so we have to find ways. And it costs us some money. But you know what? The hawkers still go and sit on those spikes that you put there. Well, I'll rest my case for this morning. That's our NC's take for today. Same time next week. You never know. Enjoy it. But right after this break, Cecilia will be here with Set, Stay Alive.